all after-school activities today in preparation for any severe weather. And now there's this. On Tuesday, State Senator Mike Bell introduced a resolution in the state Senate to call for Bradley County Board of Education members, the chairman, Troy Weathers, and Rodney Dillard to immediately vacate their seats on the school board. Senator Bell said they had moved out of the districts they represent. The resolution directed 10th Judicial District Attorney Steve Crump to file a motion to declare the two sitting members of the county school board, Weathers and Dillard, have, quote, forfeited their seats by moving outside their districts, end quote. Senator Bell said the law also states that once a seat is vacated, it must be filled by the county legislative body at the next regular meeting or at a special meeting of the body. The Bradley County school system released a statement saying the board members consulted with the State School Boards Association and the Bradley County Board of Education attorney. And so I tell you, we're going to bring in right now Bradley County Board of Education Chairman Troy Weathers, who's obviously involved in this story. Good morning, Troy. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Let me ask you, before we get into the details, I know you've come prepared with a statement, but why do you think this happened now? What about this timing now? It seemed to, at least me and some others, caught a lot of people by surprise.
Well, we were all surprised by it, and I really don't have an answer for that. I don't know what motivated Senator Bell to do that. We have been good friends. I don't really understand. We didn't understand exactly what the reasoning for that is. My term would have been up in the end of August. But he did that, and we just believe it's just time to move on and not worry about it. And I've got a campaign to worry about, and I dearly love Bradley County Schools, and I certainly don't want to bring anything negative to our community or to our school system.
Let me, we did get a response from Senator Bell, and by the way, we invited Senator Bell to join us here this morning. He declined, but he did send us the following statement to Mix 1041, quote, "I'm glad both Dillard and Weathers have decided to follow the law and resign, though I would add they don't have to resign. The law is clear. Their seats were vacated on the day they moved from their respective districts," end quote. What do you make of that, Troy?
Well, I don't know where he's reading the law, but if you would give me a moment, I'm going to go through the story, tell you how we got here. Over a year ago, we were in a retreat, Bradley County School Board, in February, and Mr. Dillard had just moved out of the district, and we had our attorney on the phone. We were asking some other issues and didn't even think about it. And I was, as a chairman, I said, I thought to myself, I need to ask him, what process do I need to follow to make sure it was legal and all things are right? So I asked our attorney, our school board attorney, I said, how do we need to proceed with Mr. Dillard, because he's moved out of our district? And not knowing this law statute was available. He said, well, let me go look. So he pulled his books out, came back and said, hey, he doesn't have to. He said the statute clearly says that you can move out of your district as long as you don't move out of your county and finish your term out, and then you cannot run again unless you move back into your district. That's what the statute says, and I'll be glad to read it. So that's the precedence, that's how we came down this road. Not believing just one person, we contacted the Tennessee School Board Association, and we asked them to look into it to make sure that we weren't doing something that we shouldn't do. We also informed the county attorney and the leadership of the county and gave them all the information. And please look at this and tell us what you think to make sure that we weren't doing anything wrong. Well, all those people lined up the same way that the school board attorney did, that it was legal for Mr. Dillard to stay on the school board. So he's been on the school board for over a year now, not living in that district, but still serving the 5th District of Bradley County. So yesterday, if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to read what the attorney sent me last night.
Please.
I'm going to put my glasses on so I don't read something's not there, okay?
Yes, sir.
It said, Troy, one of the things that the paper seems to ask about is the Court of Appeals. Wait a minute. Let me give you the reference to the law. The law is TCA 49-2-202, paragraph 5. It used to be paragraph 4, but they changed the law last year. They put something in, so it moved that down to 5. So in case someone says it's 4, it's 5, okay? It said, one of the things that the paper seems to be asking about is a court appeals decision from 2014. The Attorney General referred that the decision of his opinion. The things is, however, the court's decision did not say that a board member forfeited office by moving outside the electoral district. It said that to be a candidate for the office, he has to live in the electoral district. No one disputes that. The question is whether you forfeit office by moving. The General Assembly says you do not if you move out, if you do not move out of the county. It does say that you do if you move out of the district. You can continue to serve if you move out of the district. If that was the intention, they should have added those words.
Okay.
So the bottom line is, and Mr. Dillard and I, and I'll speak for him for a moment because we talked yesterday, we don't want to cause any conflict toward our board and toward our city of Cleveland and Bradley County. It's not worth it. We don't want to fight with Senator Bell. Senator Bell's done a great job. He's been on there 16 years and served us well. Now, what brought him to this point, I don't have any idea. It doesn't really matter. But we haven't done anything wrong. We followed the law of the land, and that's the Tennessee law. Okay, we followed that to the T, and so the next step that happened, Steve, was about a month ago. Senator Bell contacted Dr. Cash and said, Mr. Weathers will have to step down from his office. Well, I was fortunately in Nashville at that time. And so what took place is I talked to some legislators, and he referred back to, again, the Attorney General's opinion. Now, understand, Attorney General's opinion is an opinion. It's like you have an opinion, I have an opinion, you have an opinion. It's just an opinion. Until someone takes you to court, it doesn't mean anything. You still follow the law of the land, because the legislative is what makes the law. So Attorney General doesn't, he interprets the law. Now, that was his opinion. I was in several offices up there that day, and they said, we get Attorney General's decisions every single day, their opinions. And we take them with a grain of salt because it's not the law until someone challenges it. So I'm assuming that possibly, I'm not speaking for him, but Senator Bell decided he wanted to challenge it or force someone to challenge it. And no one has taken the ball to run with it. And we weren't willing, Mr. Dillard and I weren't willing to go through the process and, again, put everybody through that.
We're joined by Bradley County Board of Education Chairman Troy Weathers. So what I'm hearing you say is Rodney Dillard is not going to challenge this. He's got a couple of years left, really, on his term. He's not going to challenge it. That, I guess, would mean, it does mean, the Bradley County Commission would then appoint someone in his position until the next election. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And in my position, what'll take place, just so you know, and I've talked to them about it yesterday, is, I have 3 candidates in my district running for the school board. So whoever wins that seat, they will appoint them in whenever May the 4th, I guess, the next day, they will appoint them, and then they'll serve out my term and then start their term in September 1.
But your term would have expired, I believe, in August.
August 31st, yes, sir.
August 31, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, again, we're joined by Bradley County Board of Education Chairman Troy Weathers, who, and from what I have read, I guess the board meeting on, is it the 14th, a week from Thursday?
Yes, a week from Thursday.
That will be the end of your term.
That is correct.
On the school board, you and Rodney Dillard.
That is correct.
And then you have already announced very publicly that you will be running for state representative subject to the August primary.
That is correct. And I look forward to that. And again, this just opens up the time. I hope they'll know that I'll be working even harder. I want to serve the people of Cleveland and Bradley County. I've done it for 20 years. And to have to resign, I don't like it, just so you know. But again, I care about my community and I care more about the school system than me, if you just want to know the truth. I think the school system should be protected, and that was my conversation with Dr. Cash yesterday, is I don't want to do anything to bring anything negative toward them, because I think we're doing great things, and we've done great things. We got the Pie Center going on and a lot of other things. Kids are learning, things are going well, and for Mr. Dillard and I, we don't want to be a hindrance to that. We didn't come serve on the school board to be a hindrance. We wanted to be someone to help and move forward. So that was the deciding factor, is we just don't want to do that. And so nobody won in this, by the way. So, for us to say we're resigning because of the fact that we don't want to mess anything up. It's not because we're guilty of anything. We've done nothing wrong. We followed the law of the land. And when you follow the law of the land, I just read it, and anybody can read that if you like, but it's there. So whatever any other person's opinion is just an opinion.
Troy Weathers, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me, Steve.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mix 104.1 Talk, 101.3 The Buzz, and MixTV.tv. Again at 8 o'clock this morning, we'll be joined for our by the Bradley County Mayor's candidates for our first Mix Mornings debate series presented by Rob Buckner Funeral Home and Crematory. Began at 8 o'clock with Bradley County mayoral candidates, Mayor Gary Davis, and the chairman of the Bradley County Commission, Johnny Mull, his challenger. Let's get a check of the streets right here. Bridget, let's go over to you.
Okay, this Don Ledford Cleveland Mix Highway Patrol report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. April is Chevy Truck Month at Don Ledford